Did you know that Apple wasn't always the tech giant it is today? In fact, if things had gone a little bit different, Apple might not even exist right now. Let's dig deep into how a garage startup transformed into one of the most valuable brands in the world, with a twist you probably didn't see coming. Imagine it's 1976 in a small garage in Los Altos, California. Here we find two college dropouts, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, tinkering with a revolutionary idea. Their mission: to bring computers into the hands of everyday people. It was risky, ambitious, and they didn't even have a product yet, but they had a vision, the Apple One. But here is a twist. That first computer didn't even have a case, just a circuit board priced at $666.66. Strange, right? And yet, that bare-bone model laid the foundation for something much bigger.
For the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests of vain contradictory thoughts. Our unification as force is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll
Fast forward a few years and Apple has its first big hit, the Macintosh in 1984. This was the first personal computer to feature a graphical interface and a mouse, things we take for granted today. But it was more than just tech, it was a statement. Think of the iconic commercial where Apple painted itself as a rebel, breaking away from the conformity of IBM and Microsoft. That wasn't just a product launch, it was the start of Apple's cult-like following. But as we know, the story wasn't all smooth sailing. By the mid-80s, Apple was on the verge of collapse. Jobs was ousted from his own company in a dramatic boardroom clash, a moment that should have marked the end of Apple. Instead, it became the start of a legendary comeback. Here is where Apple's story takes another surprising turn. In 1997, the company was days away from bankruptcy. Then, out of nowhere, Apple brings Jobs back, and everything changes. Under his leadership, the brand transforms again.
Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the whole computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry.
First come the iMac, a sleek, colorful computer that stood out from the beige boxes of the 90s. And then the real game changer, the iPod. Imagine 1,000 songs in your pocket. This little device redefined how we think about music and portable tech. Jobs' comeback had only just begun. In 2007, Apple did something no one expected. They entered the phone market, and here is the twist. Most thought it was a terrible idea. People doubted Apple could compete with giants like Nokia and Motorola.
Drop your iPod in, and it automatically syncs. You're going to do the same thing with iPhone. It automatically syncs to your PC or Mac right through iTunes. And iTunes is going to sync all your media onto your iPhone your music, your audiobooks, podcasts, movies, TV shows, music videos, but it also syncs a ton of data. Your contacts, your calendars, and your photos, which you can get on your iPod today, your notes, your bookmarks from your web browser, your email accounts, your whole email setup, all that stuff can be moved over to iPhone completely automatically. It's really nice. And we do it through iTunes. Again, you go to iTunes and you set it up, just like you'd set up an iPod or an Apple TV. And you set up what you want synced to your iPhone. And it's just like an iPod. Charge and sync. So sync with iTunes. Third thing I want to talk about a little is design. We've designed something wonderful for your hand. Just wonderful. And this is what it looks like. It's got a 3.5-inch screen on it. It's really big. And it's the highest resolution screen we've ever shipped.
The iPhone was unlike anything we had seen. A touch screen, no button, an app store. Apple had not only redefined what a phone could do, but they also built an entire ecosystem that kept users loyal. And over the next decade, this ecosystem would grow to include the iPad, Apple Watch, and AirPods, creating a seamless user experience that competitors struggle to match. What makes Apple different? Is it just the products? Maybe, but there is another reason. Apple's brand loyalty is unparalleled. They've created more than just technology. They've created a lifestyle. From the minimalist design to the seamless integration between devices, Apple has mastered the act of keeping people coming back. And here's the real twist. Apple doesn't just sell products, they sell the future. Every new release hints at what's coming next, like their recent focus on health with the Apple Watch or their ambitious step into augmented reality. It's why customers are not just buying a phone, they are buying into a vision. So what's next for Apple? Could it be a car, virtual reality, or something we haven't even imagined yet? One thing is certain, they are not slowing down. So if you are as intrigued by Apple's journey as we are, keep watching for more insights into the brand shaping our world. Ciao!